You're always there for her. You listen. You care. You support her through every crisis and celebration. You think that one day she'll finally see the depth of your character and realize you're the one, but instead she calls you bro or such a good friend. The weight of those words crashes down on you like a ton of bricks, burying your romantic hopes under the rubble of unrequited feelings. Friend zone. 2 words that make most men wince. You've been there, investing time, energy, and emotion into someone who sees you as nothing more than a friend. The countless late-night phone calls where you patiently listen to her relationship problems. The birthdays where you meticulously planned the perfect gift while she casually handed you a gift card. The parties where you watched from across the room as she flirted with someone else, knowing you'd be the one she texts later to analyze what went wrong. But what if I told you the friend zone isn't where attraction goes to die? It's actually where it's being tested. 3 years ago, I was crazy about this woman named Jessica, not her real name. Our story followed the classic friend zone script to the letter. I did everything for her, listened to her problems for hours on end, helped her move apartments when all her other friends were too busy, even drove her to dates with other guys because she didn't want to take public transportation in her nice outfit. I was the definition of a nice guy, convinced that if I just showed her how much I cared, eventually she'd see me differently. Spoiler alert, she didn't. In fact, the more I gave, the more she took, and the more firmly I became cemented in the friend zone. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Stoicism, an ancient philosophy practiced by emperors and warriors, holds the key to not just escaping the friend zone but completely transforming how she sees you. This isn't about tricks or manipulation. It's not about becoming someone you're not. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. A man who naturally attracts rather than desperately chases. A man who commands respect rather than begs for attention. If you're ready to master yourself and flip the dynamic in your favor, hit subscribe now and let's transform your relationships from the inside out. Let's get into it. The reality of the friend zone. Let's get something straight right away. The friend zone isn't rejection. It's a misalignment of attraction and intention. When a woman friend zones you, she's not saying you're worthless or unlovable. She's saying she doesn't feel that specific type of attraction that turns friendship into something more. The good news? Attraction isn't fixed like concrete. It's fluid like water, which means it can change based on how you show up in her life and, more importantly, how you show up for yourself. Women friend zone men for specific reasons, and understanding these reasons is the first step toward transformation. When you're friend zoned, you've been categorized in her brain as safe, predictable, and non-threatening. You're the emotional equivalent of a comfortable old sweater, nice to have around but not something that quickens the pulse. You've been placed in her brain's familiar and comfortable category, not her exciting and desirable category. When you consistently show up as emotional support with no boundaries, when you're available 24/7, when you prioritize her needs above your own time and again, you're training her brain to see you as a utility, not a potential partner. You become an emotional vending machine, insert sad story, receive validation and comfort. But vending machines, useful as they are, don't inspire romance. Common myths about the friend zone. Let's bust some common misconceptions that keep men trapped in friend zone purgatory. First, she doesn't know I like her. Trust me, she knows. Those lingering looks when you think she's not paying attention, the immediate text responses at 2 a.m., the way you drop everything when she calls, she sees it all. Women are generally much more socially perceptive than men give them credit for. They can sense your interest even when you think you're being subtle. The issue isn't her awareness of your feelings, it's her lack of reciprocation. Second, if I'm just there for her long enough, she'll eventually see how good we could be together. This is perhaps the most dangerous myth of all. Time doesn't equal attraction. In fact, the longer you stay in a one-sided dynamic, the more you cement your position. Every day you spend as her emotional support without boundaries, every time you play the role of pseudo-boyfriend without the benefits, you're adding another brick to the wall between friendship and romance. You're reinforcing her view of you as just a friend. Third, she's confused about her feelings for me. She's not confused. Women typically know within minutes of meeting you whether there's potential for attraction. When she says phrases like, "I value our friendship too much," or "I don't want to ruin what we have," that's not confusion, that's clarity. She's telling you exactly where you stand. Refusing to accept her clear communication doesn't change the reality of her feelings. The Stoic approach to the friend zone. So what works when nothing else has? Stoicism, the ancient philosophy practiced by Roman emperors like Marcus Aurelius and some of history's greatest minds. At its core, Stoicism teaches that you can't control external events or other people's feelings, but you can absolutely control your response to them. It's about focusing your energy on what you can change rather than wasting it on what you cannot. The great Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. Applied to the friend zone, this wisdom is transformative. You can't control whether she's attracted to you, but you can control how you respond to the situation, how you carry yourself, and most importantly, the value you place on your own time and attention. Most men in the friend zone are trying desperately to control her feelings while completely surrendering control of their own emotions and actions. They're trying to logically convince a woman to feel attraction, something that has never worked in the history of human relationships. Has a woman you weren't attracted to ever convinced you to be attracted to her through logical arguments? Through doing more favors for you? Through being more available? Of course not. Attraction doesn't work that way, and deep down, you know this. You're suffering not because you're in the friend zone, but because you're clinging to an outcome you can't control. The moment you release that desperate need to control her feelings is the moment you regain your power. It's the moment you start focusing on the only thing that truly matters, becoming the best version of yourself regardless of how she responds. Focus on what you can control. Your thoughts, your actions, your boundaries, how you spend your time, who you give your energy to, your physical fitness, your career goals, your social skills. Let go of what you can't control. Her feelings, her choices, her attraction to you, what she does when you're not around, who she chooses to date. Accepting reality, the first step. Now comes the hard part. Accepting that right now she's not attracted to you. And that's okay. This isn't defeatism, it's clear-eyed realism. When you truly accept this reality without resentment or bitterness, the neediness that's been repelling her disappears. The desperate energy that women can sense from a mile away vanishes. And paradoxically, this creates the conditions for change. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." Right now, her lack of romantic interest is outside your control. Accept it not as a final verdict on your worth, but simply as the current state of affairs, one that may change as you change. Flipping the pyramid. Most men in the friend zone build an upside-down pyramid. They put her at the foundation, making her the basis of their happiness, their decisions, their self-worth. Every text message, every social media post, every interaction becomes weighted with significance because she forms the base of their emotional structure. This is inherently unstable and destined to collapse. The Stoic approach flips the pyramid. You become the foundation. Your self-respect, your boundaries, your purpose, these form the base. From this solid foundation, you can build healthy relationships, not just with her but with everyone in your life. When you're no longer desperate for her approval, you become grounded, centered, and, ironically, much more attractive. Practical steps to transform the dynamic. Let's get practical. If you're serious about changing this dynamic, you need concrete steps, not just philosophy. Here's your action plan. 1. Stop being her emotional support system. Being her 24/7 therapist is the quickest path to the friend zone. Women aren't attracted to their therapists. They respect them, they value them, they confide in them, but they don't desire them sexually or romantically. It's a professional relationship, not a romantic one. When you position yourself as the guy who's always there to listen to her problems with other men, who's constantly available for emotional processing, who provides unlimited validation without expectation, you're sending one clear message. I'm not a potential romantic partner. I'm a utility. There's a profound difference between being supportive and being used. Supportive relationships are mutual. Both people give and receive. There's balance and reciprocity. Ask yourself honestly, does she make herself equally available when you need support? Does she respect your time and energy? Is she genuinely interested in your life, dreams, and challenges? Or is the relationship one-sided, with you giving and her taking? Start setting boundaries around emotional support. Put time limits on emotional support sessions. I can talk for about 15 minutes, then I've got to get back to my project. Learn to redirect conversations when they veer into territory that reinforces the friend zone. That sounds like something to discuss with your girlfriends, is a powerful phrase. Sometimes just say no. I care about you, but I'm not in a place to discuss relationship issues right now. When she calls about drama with another guy at 1 a.m., don't drop everything. I'm about to head to bed. Can we catch up tomorrow over coffee? When she's venting about her ex for the 100th time, don't dive into the drama. Sounds complicated. I think you know what's best for you. On another note, are you joining us for Alex's birthday this weekend? This isn't about being mean or unavailable. It's about establishing yourself as a person with boundaries in your own life, not an on-call emotional resource. 2. Create healthy distance. Attraction thrives in the space between connections, not in constant availability. This is a psychological principle that applies to everyone regardless of gender. When you're always available, you're a completed task in her mind. There's no mystery, no curiosity, no reason for her thoughts to drift back to you. But when you create some mystery around your availability, you become an uncompleted thought, something her mind returns to repeatedly. In the words of Seneca, another great Stoic, the mind is worked up by the conflict of opposites. Constant presence creates no conflict, no tension, no interest. But presence mixed with absence creates the very mental friction that sparks attraction. Break the pattern of immediate text responses. If you typically respond within seconds, try waiting an hour or even until the next day. Practice saying no to some invitations, especially last-minute ones where you're clearly the backup plan. I'd love to, but I've already committed to something else tonight. Develop interests and activities that don't involve her. Join a martial arts class, start a side business, take up rock climbing, learn a musical instrument. When she asks, "What did you do this weekend?" give an intriguing but brief response. Met some interesting people at this Brazilian jiu-jitsu event. Had a great time. Leave her wanting to know more rather than providing a detailed report of every minute. This isn't about playing mind games, it's about genuinely reclaiming your life and time. The goal isn't to punish her or make her jealous. It's to create a healthy dynamic where your world doesn't revolve around her. It's about becoming a man with options and interests that extend beyond any one person. 3. Reclaim your power. Stop seeking validation and approval. Ask yourself, does a confident man need constant validation? Does he laugh too hard at jokes that aren't funny? Does he agree with opinions he doesn't share? Does he compromise his values for approval? Of course not. The less you need someone's approval, the more valuable your approval becomes to them. It's one of life's great ironies, but it's consistently true. Start disagreeing respectfully when you actually disagree. I see it differently, actually. I think. Set clear boundaries when needed. I'm not comfortable with that. Express your authentic views without fear of her reaction. True confidence comes from self-acceptance, not external validation. When you're comfortable in your own skin, when you genuinely like yourself, others pick up on that energy. And that energy is incredibly attractive. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinion of others." Stop letting her opinion of you matter more than your opinion of yourself. That alone is revolutionary. 4. Focus on personal growth. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do." Improve yourself for yourself, not for her. This is perhaps the most important principle of all. Focus on your physical health and appearance, not to impress her, but because taking care of your body builds confidence and energy. Start that workout routine you've been putting off. Clean up your diet. Get enough sleep. These basic foundations will transform not just how you look, but how you feel and how you carry yourself. Develop mental clarity and emotional stability through practices like meditation or journaling. A man who knows his own mind is infinitely more attractive than one whose emotions swing wildly based on others' reactions. Expand your social connections and seek new experiences that challenge you. Make new friends, both men and women. Travel somewhere that pushes you out of your comfort zone. Take social risks that expand your world beyond her orbit. Pursue professional growth and purpose. Become a man on a mission. Double down on your career goals or start that side project you've been dreaming about. Nothing is more attractive than a man who is passionate about something beyond the woman in front of him. Women are attracted to men who are going somewhere, who have direction, who are passionate about something beyond them. When your life has momentum, you become magnetic. Not just to her, but to everyone around you. 5. Accept the possibility of walking away. The Stoics practiced amor fati, loving your fate whatever it might be. In the context of the friend zone, this means accepting that walking away might be the best outcome for you. In fact, you must genuinely be willing to lose her in order to have any chance of changing the dynamic. If you've been in the friend zone for months or years, having a direct conversation is often the only way forward. Tell her directly, "I value our friendship, but I'm looking for something more in my life. I don't think it's fair to either of us if I pretend I'm okay with something I'm not." Then step back. Stop texting first, stop being her backup plan, focus on yourself and create a life that excites you. If she really values you, she won't just let you walk away. She'll either reconsider the nature of your relationship, or she'll make an effort to maintain the friendship on more balanced terms. But even if she does let you go without a fight, you'll be free. Free from the prison of hope, free to find someone who sees your value from day one, free to build a relationship based on mutual desire rather than one-sided devotion. The ultimate paradox of the friend zone is this: only by truly accepting the friendship as it is or walking away entirely can you transform the dynamic. The moment you stop needing her to see you differently is the moment you become the man she might see differently. Start applying these Stoic principles today, not to manipulate her feelings, but to reclaim your authentic self. Because whether she comes around or not, you'll be a stronger, more centered, more attractive man, and that's a win either way. Remember what Marcus Aurelius taught: the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Change your thoughts about the friend zone from victimhood to empowerment, and watch how your reality transforms. This isn't just about getting one particular woman to see you differently. It's about becoming the kind of man that women naturally gravitate toward. It's about moving from being the safe option to being the exciting choice, from being the shoulder to cry on to being the man she can't stop thinking about. The friend zone is not a life sentence unless you make it one. It's simply a test of your character, your self-respect, your willingness to put yourself first. And with the Stoic mindset, it's a test you can absolutely pass. This is Stoic Guide signing off. Remember, the friend zone isn't a life sentence. It's just a test of character. And with the right mindset, it's a test you can absolutely pass. Like this video if something clicked. Subscribe for more insights on becoming the man you're meant to be. And send this to the guy who's still stuck in the friend zone. We're done being emotional cushions. Now we build.